Thank you. So as we all heard in the morning, the effect of climate and weather. So in my PhD project, I looked at the probability of wind patterns blowing vectors from East Timor and PNG to Australia. So what we did in my project, we collected samples, sweet potato, cucurbits, and other crops. But we decided to focus more on cucurbits and sweet potato because we found them to be more productive in terms of viruses that were present. So if you look at here, we have a sweet potato leaf with symptoms, and then biological inoculation from cucurbit crop. So from my results in cucurbits, we found that from East Timor, we found zucchini yellow mosaic, and then we found papaya ring spot. And then from PNG, we found papaya ring spot and ZOMV. So when we did the analysis, the phylogenetic analysis, we found that there was an interesting grouping here of Southeast Asian grouping where all Australian samples from different locations grouped together with East Timorese. It was also interesting to find that the Broome samples grouped alone and Northern Territory samples grouped alone. So these are the first genomes of ZOMV that have been sequenced here in Australia. And the previous ones in GenBank were from Reunion Island and Singapore, and they all grouped together with the Australian one. So we probably think that there's probability that wind pattern can contribute to the spread of viruses in crops in Australia. And having said that, it is important that we don't overlook the presence of these viruses in Northern Territory, and it is important to emphasize more on biosecurity measures in that region. Thank you.